This is goodbye to one of the most popular and charismatic characters in anime. Sukuna has won, killing Satoru freaking Gojo. Now, objectively speaking, we all knew this day was coming. The plot wouldn't progress as long as Gojo stayed alive. The only alternative path was to nerf him completely. The story made it clear, in fact, as the last rule Kenjaku added to the culling games was that it would end if Megumi died. So there was no way it would happen as the story would end. A lot of us in the community believe Gojo would overexert himself and lose the ability to use curse energy or his 6 eyes, which means he would win, but at a cost. But Gege woke up and said, nah, let me cook. I want all of you to feel pain. The same pain I had to write Gojo's character for this long.
I hate all of you.
I know we all meme that Gege hates Satoru Gojo, but with the events that have unfolded in chapter 236, it's hard to deny that's not the case. Remember, he admitted with Mando Kobayashi in a 2021 interview that the whole reason he sealed Satoru Gojo away for 3 years with the prison realm was just so that the story could continue, as Gojo was way too strong and was removing all the tension in the story since he could fix every issue the sorcerers would be going through. Therefore, the only conclusion back then and even now was to remove Gojo from the equation, as the next generation has to defeat Sukuna and Kenjaku. And to be frank, I don't think there is anyone that has a problem with Gojo dying. We all knew this was coming. It was just the execution of it that is jarring, and some could argue it could have been written better. The last 10 chapters that Gojo dominated with 5 different occasions that is factual, where he flat out outplayed and defeated Sukuna, was just the king of curses acting? His eyes rolled back in his head, even though the whole narrative was framed for readers that it was the strongest versus the strongest, not the battle of those who still hold back more strength.
That don't make no sense.
We were outright told that Sukuna felt uneasy for the first time in 1000 years. He literally never learnt burnout and had to copy it from Gojo. He was bleeding out of his eyes and lost his domain due to brain damage. He got knocked clean out by Black Flash, but Maharaga saved him on 3 different occasions during the fight. He literally was slower in the Clash of Domain expansions, casting it slower than Gojo. And now you want readers to believe that Sukuna was holding back and Gojo doesn't believe he was the strongest?
Now, though, we can try to see this regression of Gojo as a reflection of his selfish trait, as this version of Gojo is the opposite of what we know him to be, and it's Gege's way of humanizing his character further upon death. However, admitting someone is stronger is one thing, but outright saying he might have not won even if Sukuna didn't use Maharaga is the stem for doubt. As he told Megami, one should always envision winning instead of losing. For example, explaining the importance of striking for victory instead of blunting for safety. So this exposition really just feels out of place, going against the character we've seen for 235 chapters. In fact, this made it seem rather than Sukuna, Gojo was the fraud, and he had to lie to his students just to portray false confidence. So his retrospective analysis doesn't seem right, and now it makes Gojo seem nothing more than a boy who had to bolster a sense of ego just so he could live to the expectation of the strongest, which undermines his motive and his declaration of winning to his students. We all predicted Sukuna to win, but Gojo's perfect character conclusion should have been to pass the baton to his students, the next generation of Jujutsu that he fostered. Gojo could have easily even pinned his loss to destiny and how Yuta and Yuji had to be the ones to put an end to the old generation for good, as he achieved his goals of weakening Sukuna, where in the next chapter one of his students would elaborate further and give Gojo the benefit of doubt. Likewise, Gojo could have accepted that Sukuna did have advantage over him because of Maharaga's involvement, which evened the odds between the two strongest. Instead, he suggests Sukuna wasn't even going all out to begin with and admits Gojo isn't the strongest, which completely strips the title away from him. As Gojo continues to express his loss to Geto, well, yeah, he starts feeling sorry for Sukuna as he wasn't able to throw everything at him. He explains how it's very lonely at the top, and though he himself felt loved, he sympathizes with Sukuna and wants him to feel loved too. Yes, guys, it seems like the shippers were right all along. This is our Jujutsu Kaisen.
Shut your stupid.
But if you guys want to stay 10 steps ahead and not be so disappointed by the ending of Jujutsu Kaisen, then make sure to watch this video next.